Are you considering consolidating your debt, but you're unsure whether you're overpaying, right? Do you know if you're getting a loan or if you're actually signing up for a program where you now have to fall behind on the debt? Well, today we're going to cover 5 crucial things to understand to gauge whether you're overpaying for debt consolidation. Let's get started. Welcome to the Ascend Finance YouTube channel, where we try to help folks get out of debt cheaper, easier, and faster. My name is Justin, and today we're going to cover a few things. First thing I want to touch base on is going to be debt consolidation loans versus debt consolidation programs. The next thing I want to touch on is going to be debt consolidation program fees, and I kind of want to go into depth of what they are, how they're calculated, how they're taken, all the above. And then we'll start talking about just graduation loans and what those are. And then we'll touch base a little bit about debt consolidation program legal plans, what those are, how much they cost. And then I'm going to estimate, or just at least help you estimate, or show you how to estimate your debt consolidation program cost. Now, before I get started and I go too far, I do want to say that if this video is helpful, we would super appreciate a like and subscribe, as we are constantly trying to put out more videos that can help people get out of debt cheaper, easier, and faster by making the most informed decision. And stick around till the end, as actually we have something a little exciting to share, but that'll be at the end of the video, so stick along. Also, keep in mind, this video is purely made for informational purposes only. Everything I say is purely for information and should not be construed as legal advice or any advice whatsoever. With that said, let's dive into debt consolidation loans versus debt consolidation programs. Oftentimes, people end up signing for debt consolidation programs with the thought that they may actually be receiving a loan to pay off their debt. The challenge is, though, the difference between loans and programs are extremely different. And so today I want to cover a few reasons why someone would most likely want to take out a debt consolidation loan, right? Because I think oftentimes people like the idea of just consolidating their debt, but the thing to understand is, why would someone want to do that? And hopefully that'll help you. So the first thing to understand is, when someone wants a loan, they potentially just want to consolidate the debt into one monthly payment. Another thing would be they want a better interest rate compared to the average rate of their credit cards. One more thing would be to save money, right? May seem obvious, but they want to save money. Another thing would be get out of the debt faster, right? Because with revolving credit, there's potentially no end date. Now with an installment loan, there is, so they want to get out of it faster. And then maybe they want to reduce their monthly payments. Another thing someone may want to look into a loan for is to actually improve their credit score, right? Because when you're paying off all this revolving credit and now you have an installment loan, that actually may report better. So those are just a few things. And so kind of with that being said, I want to cover a big question is, what happens when you're in a debt consolidation program, right? What goes on, and all the above, just so you can fully be aware. So the idea of a debt consolidation program is there's past due unsecured debt being settled, generally for 50 cents on the dollar, right? And so you're going to pay one monthly payment into an escrow account to build up funds, and so that they can reach settlements, right? They can reach those 50 cents on the dollar settlements. The thing about that is the debt needs generally to be about 3 to 6 months past due, as the debt needs to be at a place where the creditor would have any incentive to settle, right? And so if the debt's current, it may be unlikely for a creditor to want to take 50 cents on the dollar. Another thing to understand is your credit score can be impacted doing a program like this, right? By falling behind. And so with that said, since the debt's falling behind, you also could be sued for the unpaid debt, right? There could be a debt collection lawsuit filed. There's another thing that could happen with these programs is the potential tax obligation, right? You may owe taxes on the forgiven debt. And another thing is to understand is you may pay a company a fee for setting all this debt, right? It's their way of making money, is by charging for doing the negotiations. Now, with all that in mind, they don't sound like the same thing to me, right? The consolidation loan, you pay off things, debt settlement, things fall behind. So one question I have is, why are people getting tons of mailers saying they pre-qualify for a loan, but then find out they don't qualify and then are pitched a consolidation program, right? It's unclear to me, as they are clearly very different, but nevertheless. Now with a better grasp of the differences between loans and programs, I want to kind of cover how the program fees work, right? As they're crucial to understand when you're trying to estimate if you're overpaying in one of these programs, right? It's important to first understand on average how much these companies are charging, right? Are they charging $1,000? What are they charging? So I'll explain it. They generally will charge a percentage of the enrolled debt, which is going to be between 15 to 25% and sometimes higher, right? The companies will calculate their exact fee by charging a percentage of the enrolled debt. So let's say someone's enrolling $100,000 of unsecured debt into the program and the company's charging them 25%. That would be around $25,000 in fees over the length of the program. So one question I get a lot is actually like, when are these fees paid? Because the idea of paying $25,000 right now seems impossible. Yeah, it does, right? So debt consolidation program companies are generally not allowed, unless maybe they're like a law firm, but they're not allowed generally to take upfront fees. So what they'll do is they'll lump their fees into the monthly payments to simplify the process. So with that said, their fee is actually just sitting in the escrow account until they've reached a settlement. So you're making payments each month, that's including their fee, and their fee just sits in the escrow account. Now, once a settlement's been reached and been made, they generally will take their fee when the payment's made to the creditor. The fee they're taking actually should be relative to the debt amount settled, right? They're not taking $25,000 when they settle a $1,000 account, right? It's relative to the amount they're settling. Now that we've kind of covered the fees, right? I want to cover something called graduation loans. I'm seeing this more and more, where debt consolidation program companies are offering these loans 6 months into their programs to help people graduate from their program and settle the debt really quickly. However, these may be one of the most important things to actually understand when you're trying to figure out if you're overpaying for these programs. These are key. And so I kind of want to touch on that now and explain what they are and how they all work. So what are graduation loans and why are they a thing? Well, as we talked about earlier, there is a risk of being sued when you're in a program, right? So getting these debts settled with lump sum settlements as soon as possible can actually help limit that, right? But at what cost, right? At what cost is it worth doing that? So when someone's getting a loan offered when they're 6 months past due on unsecured debt, it's pretty hard to imagine that they're getting a decent rate on this loan, right? Yeah, that's generally spot on. On top of that, the company's also taking their entire fee when they settle all these debts as well. So they're now making money in 3 ways, right? So they're going to make money on their settlement fee they're charging before. So if we take the earlier example, 25%, right? So they're making money on their settlement fee. Now, if there's an origination fee on that loan, they're also going to make some money there potentially, and then their interest from their loan. Now, just to keep in mind, if they're not directly lending and they're using like an affiliate, they're probably making money from like that affiliate, from the person taking out the loan. Now, if they're not a direct lender, they may actually have like an affiliate they work with, and then at that point they're making like an affiliate fee potentially. Let's run the numbers. So if you're enrolling $30,000 into a program and the company's charging you 25%, so the current total cost to you would be around $22,500 before any legal plans, which I'll actually cover in a little bit, and the graduation loans, right? Excluding those 2 things. Now, if they decide to offer you $15,000, like a loan at, let's say 29%, because you're 6 months past due, and let's say it's over 4 years, you now would be around $25,507 on that loan specifically. Now, keep in mind, this is for illustration purposes. It's just to kind of help you understand the cost, right? So let's add all of this together. So now we took the rate, the loan amount, and the term length, and so we said it's $25,507 total paid for the loan. 25% of the enrolled amount of debt, which would be about $7,500, right? So that's their fee. So total paid, not including origination fees and legal fees, would roughly be around $33,007. So when you signed up for the program, you had $30,000 in debt. But after falling behind for 6 months and tanking your credit, you've now found yourself paying $15,000 towards the debt, and then around $18,007 in other associated costs to the program. Is it worth it? Well, that's up to you, of course, right? But at that point, it could be worth comparing to alternatives like a nonprofit credit counseling option, or for that matter, potentially Chapter 7 bankruptcy. As I said earlier, though, we are here to provide free, unbiased information, but not advice. So if you have any questions on kind of what options are out there based on your goals, you're welcome to give us a call. You can reach us at 833-272-3631. So to quickly sum up this before moving on to the legal plan fees with these kind of programs, I want to say that I definitely see the benefit of offering graduation loans, but at a much better rate. The challenge is that it's really hard to see anyone being lended a loan with a good rate when they're 6 months past due on their debt. Now, if you'd like to talk about this more, give me a call. And like I said earlier, it's 833-272-3631. Okay, so let's chat about legal plans. As we know, there is a risk of being sued when you do a debt consolidation program, as you generally need to be past due on the debt, right? And so companies are offering legal plans where you can now pay for legal protection on top of the normal monthly payment you have with the program. So I found that companies are including the legal plan fees in the base quote to make it actually a little bit harder to estimate how much you're paying in just fees. So with that being said, it may actually be helpful to ask the sales rep, what would my quote be without legal protection? That said, it's also important to consider when estimating the total cost of the program and whether or not you're overpaying, right? And that way you can holistically see with legal protection, without legal protection, with the graduation loan, without the graduation loan, all the above, right? So let's now wrap this up with covering what it looks like to actually estimate the total cost. And so you're going to want to look at a few things that I'll lay out here. First, company fees. Then you're going to want to consider legal plan fees, and then you want to consider a graduation loan if applicable, right? And the rates associated to the loan. So if you're taking one out or if they're offering you and you're trying to figure out what's the total cost, you want to understand the rates or the estimated rates. Now, if you're not sure whether these are included in the program and you're just kind of confused, again, our number is 833-272-3631. You're welcome to give us a call, or if it's easier, you can just take our debt relief calculator that's linked below, which will actually provide a total breakdown of the debt consolidation program, as well as allow you to actually compare between other options, right? That's the idea we're trying to provide here, is compare things holistically, compare it unbiasedly, understand the cost, understand the pros and cons, know what you're getting into, and calling us should help with that. But also, if you prefer not to talk on the phone, you can take our calculator. We'll do just that. But thanks so much for sticking with this video until the end. I do hope it was helpful. As I did mention earlier, we do have something new and exciting to share with you. We're actually now providing free credit report reviews to kind of help provide information so you can be the most informed. And so if you're interested or have any questions, give us a call at 833-272-3631. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. Thanks.